Question number 9. We have disengaged stakeholders. How often should the product owner be meeting with them, and how should we keep them engaged? As the product owner, you are responsible for managing the relationship with the stakeholders and the engagement with them, because ultimately you're going to create a product that your stakeholders, your end users need, that they're going to use, and you need to understand from them what is it they need, why they need it, what kind of problem are they trying to solve. And yet sometimes the relationship with the stakeholders is not an easy one. Sometimes you have multiple stakeholders, sometimes you have different stakeholders with different needs. How do you keep everybody aligned? How do you keep everybody engaged? How do you manage potential conflicts between different stakeholders when they want different things? So let's share a few tips for things you can do. The first one is you can leverage the sprint reviews. Now, a sprint review, so at the end of the sprint, when you organize the sprint review, you should invite your stakeholders and your customers, not only because you want to present the work that your team has completed during the sprint, and we call it a demo, I get it, but mostly because you want to get their feedback. You want to learn from them. Is this product that we are building the right one for you? Is what we completed in this sprint the right work, the right set of functionalities, the right solution for you? Or should we build something different? Looking ahead, the priorities in our backlog, the roadmap, the release plan that we have put together, are these still the right plans, the right priorities to follow? Or should we change it? So now the sprint review can become a collaborative session with the stakeholders, the customers, the end users, the people you can invite to provide you feedback. And in that collaboration, you may create alignment, you may share updates, you may get input to update your plans so that you can move forward with confidence, with something, knowing that what you're building satisfies the need of your stakeholders. So what are a few things you can do as sprint review? The first one is make sure that the stakeholders participate, because sometimes stakeholders don't know what is the value of sprint review. They think they are just there to listen to what you are doing, what you have done in the sprint. Could be interesting, could be not. Make sure they understand that they are important participants and their input is extremely valuable for you. They should be there to provide you feedback. When they cannot participate in a sprint review, make sure you can follow up with them. Maybe schedule a one-on-one, maybe follow up with them. Find a way to get their feedback anyway. And especially if the feedback was implemented, for example, in the next sprint, the next time you meet with them, make them feel valuable. Share the feedback that you implemented so that they feel like they are contributing to the product development, and they will be more open to keep participating and providing more input, more feedback for the next features. Another idea you can do is when the team does sprint planning and they define a sprint goal and a sprint backlog, you may send a note ahead to your stakeholder to say, look, this is what we have committed to do in this sprint, this is what we will deliver. Please come to sprint review. I can share the end result and I would love to get your feedback on what to do next. Another way to keep the stakeholders engaged, aligned, focus on what you're doing, and a way to resolve possible conflicts between different stakeholders is to facilitate group workshops. For example, you could invite a few of your stakeholders to come and work with you on a workshop to define the product vision. You can bring up a product vision canvas, for example, and then all together you can work on that canvas to define the key elements of the product vision. Who are the customers? What problem are we trying to solve for them? How will our solution look like, and what kind of benefits will we deliver to the customers? By having this conversation together with your stakeholders, it's a powerful opportunity to create alignment, solve potential conflicts, and really get every stakeholder on the same page. Another activity you could do is organize a buy a feature session where you use a buy a feature technique to get your stakeholders to align and decide what are the key priorities that your product should focus on in the next phase, for example. Now, all of this makes sense if you know who your right stakeholders are. So, who are they? I would say in general, your manager may not be a stakeholder. Your boss may not be a stakeholder. They may or may not be. It depends. So, really think about who are the key stakeholders. Basically, who are the people that have a stake in this product. The closer you get to the actual end users of the product, of course, the better, because ultimately you're building a product for your end users. And these are the people you want to get feedback from. Any people that is in between you and the end users, they will be proxies. Yes, they may have great understanding, great experience, great awareness of what the end users really need, but they're still proxies. So it's always better to really identify who are my key stakeholders, especially the end users, and find ways to get their input, their feedback. Now, if you're building an internal product, your end users will be internal employees for your company. So try to understand who are they. Is that your sales team? Is that your marketing team? Is that your customer service team? Who are they? And find ways to invite them to use Sprint Review, for example. If you're building a B2C or B2B product for external customers, you want to understand who they are. Now, it may not always be easy to invite external customers to come to use Sprint Review, for example, come in your office. But there could be some ways to engage them anyways. For example, even if you cannot engage them every single sprint, you can organize a workshop like those examples I was sharing earlier from time to time with them. Maybe go visit them at their office. Have a product vision canvas session all together with your customers and see what comes up with that. Ask them to participate in a buy a feature session and see what input they can give you. Invite them to come to your office. Sometimes you'll be surprised. They may be happy to participate. So you can use a tool called stakeholder mapping to really identify who are the key stakeholders, especially for what you need to learn and to validate from them, and find a way to connect with them, invite them to participate in your activities, and certainly make sure you get feedback from them so everybody can be aligned.